Good morning, Kingsley Community. Pastor Colleen Wehrman here, coming to you with another daily devotion for Thursday, December 2nd. I wish it was Tuesday, 2021. I got a lot of work to do, and it's Thursday. We're going to do this Bible study for the next couple of weeks, or the next couple of, however many I got. How many sessions do I have? I don't know. Anyway, 4. So for the next 4 weeks. No. 4 days. The Heart That Grew 3 Sizes, doing a sermon series starting this Sunday, December 5th. So the title of this study, or this devotional study, is It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. And the writer writes, it's the most wonderful time of the year, right? With such joy and frivolity to go around, how could anyone not love the Christmas season? How the Grinch Stole Christmas tells us that the Grinch hated Christmas. The Grinch wasn't just was having a hard month full of hustle and bustle. No, he hated Christmas. He abhorred Christmas, as the Apostle Paul writes in Romans 12:9, which is a scripture I'm going to preach off this Sunday. Hope something comes to my mind. The Grinch's hate for Christmas is unexpected and surprising, and immediately we're left wanting to know more. When something is surprising or inexplicable, we often want to know why. Why do bad things happen to good people? Why do good things happen to bad people? Why does anything happen at all? Interestingly, the title of Dr. Seuss's story is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, not Why. With the exception of a few theories about his head being screwed on wrong, his shoes being too tight, and his heart being too small, Dr. Seuss completely avoids the question that many obsess over: why? Have you ever noticed that why wasn't a part of the title of the story? And how do you imagine the story would be different if Dr. Seuss had titled it Why the Grinch Stole Christmas? That would be completely a different story, wouldn't it? So, how do you feel about the word hate? I'd like to know. You know, as Christians, we're taught you shouldn't hate, you strongly dislike. The Apostle Paul says, no, you should abhor, you should hate evil, and you should love good. So read Romans 12:9, and so it says you should hate, it says your love should be genuine, without hypocrisy. Abhor evil and love good. When everything is going wrong, we want to know why, as if suffering is an equation with a definitive answer. The season of Advent, beginning 4 weeks prior to Christmas, starts with an unapologetic dive into suffering. And there is a strange tension between the words we hear from Scripture and the decorations we see. On the first Sunday of Advent, we read a passage of Scripture that talks of despair and suffering, mourning and loss, and that's from the prophet Isaiah. The reading cries out for a Messiah because destruction seems imminent. We read this in a service where the sanctuary is often festively decorated for this Christmas season. We're unlikely to admit it, but maybe some of us don't like the Christmas season all that much for various reasons. We might feel like the Grinch at times, standing at the opening of an isolated dark cave with nothing but a frown on our face. And like the Grinch, there isn't always a why we feel that way. Your heart feels 2 sizes too small and you can't figure out the reason. The decorations may be beautiful, the banners on the back of the wall larger than life, your Christmas tree might be up, your beautiful bulbs. Waiting for my tree in the mail. I have to go out and get myself a real one. Your heart feels 2 sizes too small and you can't figure out the reason. Oh, the decorations may be beautiful, the banners on the back of the sanctuary larger than life, but when everything is going wrong in your life, even our time-honored carols seem too loud and the lights on the tree too bright. Scripture reminds us over and over again that the Lord is near during these times, but sometimes we prefer to be on a mountain alone. It may be the most wonderful time of the year, but it leaves us feeling somehow more empty. So, how do you feel at the Christmas season? This is Advent, so we're waiting for the birth of Jesus. And we know that the Christmas story was not pretty. There was a lot of whys. Why did Joseph and Mary have to travel to Bethlehem for a census? Why did this governor decide he's going to call a census? Middle winter. Just the dumb things. Why does this happen? Why do people get sick and can't come to our Christmas day that we've picked? Why do we have to have Christmas on a specific day? Why can't we have it on a different day? So that, if you have children that have, or if you're a blended family or whatever, you have different sides of the family. Maybe you have four sets of grandparents, or, two on this side and, two on that side. Maybe you have, you're divorced this time of year, and the kids are going to go off with this ex-spouse and on Christmas Day, and your Christmas is going to look a little different. It's not going to be what you expect. Sometimes you just want to go up into the cave and be in your own misery, to be in that hatred area. But sometimes that distorts the picture that we want to see when it comes to the good of Christmas and the story of Christmas. And so the writer writes, Advent is a time to prepare for the coming of Christ, and part of that preparation is to remember the story well. When the wise men followed the Bethlehem star and found themselves at Herod's palace, they inquired about where the new Messiah might be. Herod was caught off guard and immediately threatened by this news. But if he had paid attention to the scriptures, maybe he wouldn't have been so scared. So we know that when we pay attention to the reason for Christmas, the whys are still there, but we have peace knowing that the first Christmas wasn't so good either. First Christmas had lots of unmet expectations. The Grinch didn't know why his heart was 2 sizes too small. It just was. And because it was, and because he put all his energy and his focus on hating Christmas, he almost missed the real reason for Christmas. That it comes without decorations and ribbons and bows. It just comes every year. And whether you have everything or you have nothing, Christmas still comes. And Christmas is that time when we can really focus on Christ and waiting for his second return, where he will answer all those why questions for us. So the writer writes, sometimes we hate the things we don't understand. Maybe the Grinch hated Christmas because he had no context for it. He does live alone, and so it's all he knows. Maybe it's not so much that he hates Christmas or hates the Who's in Whoville. Rather, Christmas is completely foreign to him. We too are often quick to dismiss what we don't take the time to understand. We are also quick to dismiss or maybe even hate our circumstances when life doesn't turn out the way we thought it would. So what kind of expectations do you find yourself having each year Christmas rolls around? Is it this Norman Rockwell kind of Christmas where everyone's sitting around your table and all the kids are there and their spouses are there and the grandkids are at another little table? When is one time your expectation or hope was fulfilled as you hoped, and when is one time that it was not? And what did you do when it wasn't? Your expectation wasn't met. Did you go on hating the Christmas season? Did you go on hating the situation? The Grinch assumed that sealing away what he thinks is Christmas will stop Christmas from happening. He did exactly what he set out to do. And yet, because he was distorted by the hatred that he had for Christmas, and yet the outcome, thankfully, in this case, fell short of his expectations. So even in those unmet expectations, we might find something amazing happening. That's what happened to the Grinch, He expected to hear the Who's crying and wailing and gnashing of teeth because he had taken away their entire Christmas, because he hated Christmas so much. And really what he did is he gave them the opportunity to focus on what really Christmas is all about. And it was unexpected for him, and that's what helped his heart grow 3 sizes, was meeting Jesus in the unexpected expectations that we have. So if you have a why season going on right now in your life, maybe those things that are unexpected that have happened, maybe in those moments you'll be surprised like the Grinch. and see the real reason for Christmas. I think that's important to focus on. And that's all I got, because I don't know what's going to happen Sunday. We'll see. That's kind of where we're going. So, I don't know. I might talk about my sisters, but I have to ask their permission if I can first, because I got one that hates Christmas and one that is like Miss Jolly Little Elf. She's annoyingly loves Christmas, and I'm stuck in the middle sometimes because Christmas for me is very busy, and sometimes I miss Christmas because I'm busy all the way up through Christmas Eve, and then I sit back and go, phew, that was a whirlwind. Didn't even get to experience anything. So I'm gonna have to try to put that together. Shh, don't tell anybody I talked about my sisters. They are older. They'll probably beat me up. Anyway, so I will see you Sunday, December 5th, and hopefully and prayerfully God will come up with something for me in my head. I've done as much study as I can, and now I'm getting desperate. So prayers would be appreciated, and we will talk about what the Apostle Paul says, that our love should be genuine. We should hate what is evil, but we should love what is good. And when we hate something so much, we find that we put all our energy in it, and then we have these expectations, and then they don't get met. And then at that moment, we can look for that surprise that God has for us in that. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go together. Is this making any sense? It's not in my head. So we will see. It should be fun. You should just check in on Sunday at 9 a.m. and see what God came up with. Until then, have a good weekend.